As we prepare ourselves for the fall and winter months, it's also time to gear up for flu season. So today, we're here with Dr. Tom Lehner, Medical Director for Buckeye Health Plan, to discuss ways to prevent the flu and other respiratory conditions. Dr. Lehner, thank you so much for joining us today.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
So first question, heading into this year's flu season, what can Ohioans expect as far as the numbers go?
Well, the CDC reported that last year, between October of 23 and May of 24, there were about 62 million cases of influenza and about 71,000 deaths from influenza.
Oh, no.
Also, during that same season, that same period of time, there was about 600,000 COVID illnesses and about 75,000 deaths as well. So both of those viruses are pretty serious, and they're expecting about the same this year.
And COVID hasn't gone away. Clearly, neither has the flu. And outside of the flu and COVID, are there other illnesses that people should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, certainly the common cold. And also the respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, which we've heard a lot about in the last couple of years. RSV is a virus that primarily affects young children and older adults. Also, people with chronic illnesses like heart failure, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, COPD, they can particularly be affected by that virus because it tends to prey upon the older people and those with impaired immune systems.
It's important to be aware. And, you know, the million-dollar question everyone always asks this time of year, how can you tell the difference between the flu, the common cold, and COVID?
You know, there are many similar symptoms between all of those. The common cold, typically it's sore throat, runny nose. The influenza and COVID have a very similar profile. Headache, fever, body aches, fatigue. Sometimes they have GI symptoms with them, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. The common differentiator between COVID and influenza is you oftentimes lose or have an alteration of your sense of taste and smell. The best way to find out is get a test. Go see your doctor, go to your local clinic or the pharmacy, and they can test and see which virus you have and recommend the proper treatment for the virus.
And what are some of the best ways that people can prevent themselves from catching any of these?
Vaccinations are the best way to prevent it, and we should probably start talking about vaccinations by the end of October. The flu season usually starts early November. It takes about 2 weeks after a vaccination to develop immunity, to protect yourself from the virus that's going around. And even if you get the virus after the vaccination, which sometimes does happen, the illness will be much milder than it would have been had you not gotten the vaccination. So regardless, the vaccination is the best way to prevent getting the virus. And if you don't get the virus, you're not going to be able to spread it either.
And finally, what is Buckeye Health Plan doing to help protect and keep Ohioans healthy this season?
Buckeye Health Plan has their Fluvention program, where they focus on education to their members and to the general public about influenza prevention and what to do if you get the illness. They'll be reaching out to their members with social media, phone calls, emails, text messages, and also the members that are particularly at risk, that have chronic illnesses like COPD and type 2 diabetes and heart disease. They'll be reaching out to them in particular to make sure they know where to get the vaccination and what to do if they get sick. Most importantly, if you do get sick, there are a couple of things you can do. First of all, stay home. Don't go to work. If you can possibly stay home from school, if you have kids or yourself going to school, don't stay away from other people.
Well, Dr. Lehner, this has been so informative. Thank you for clearing up a lot of questions that people have as we enter this season, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here.
If you want to find out more information about immunizations, all you have to do is to visit buckeyehealthplan.com/flu.